comes from the song Bounceable by Twin Musical, and I cannot help but follow the melody. You know what bounce is about? Suspension! Hey, what's up? Sam here. Welcome to the Geekbuying channel. And today we'll discuss what suspension is and the different types of suspension. Alright, before we begin, I'd like to conduct a simple test to demonstrate the difference in performance between scooters with and without suspension. The first scooter has no shock absorbing devices whatsoever. We attach the box filled with ping pong balls to the frame and then roll over several speed bumps at approximately 15 kilometers per hour. As you can see, these ping pong balls couldn't wait to jump out of the box, and I lost count of how many ended up on the ground. The second scooter is awesome leopard, equipped with all the shock-absorbing devices that a high-end scooter should have. Spring, hydraulic shock absorber, swing arm suspension juicer. Again, we rolled over the speed bumps at the same speed as the first test, and this time only 7 balls jump out of the box. Alright, so that's the test. It simply shows a shock-absorbing device can make difference in cutting down the bumps and the shakes on an electric scooter. And to be honest, riding on the first scooter was really tough. This scooter setup is super basic with just one linkage as a guide component from the textbooks. When I ride it, it shakes a lot. I was bouncing all over the place, relying on my legs and hips for some makeshift shock absorption, the old human suspension system. So how can we make the ride smoother? That's right, with suspension. To make the ride smoother, engineers added springs. Your typical elastic components like springs, rubber, sponges, and so on. However, springs alone weren't perfect. They absorb the shocks but then bounce back, creating more vibrations. So the improvement was limited. To set up the game, engineers introduced hydraulic shock absorbers. These use hydraulic oil to dampen vibrations and shocks. This setup is what you see on the second electric scooter I rode, which combines springs, hydraulic shock absorbers, and a swing arm. In fact, this combination, guide components, elastic components, and damping components is the go-to solution for shock absorption in the scooter industry. And even in cars, this system is called suspension. Thanks to the various types of guide, elastic, and damping components, there are now tons of different suspension setups available on the market. Now, let's dive into 4 common types of suspension and what makes them tick. Rubber suspension. This scooter right here uses rubber suspension. It's got a block of rubber doing all the heavy lifting. Rubber and spring suspensions are all about different bouncy bits they use. Rubber suspension uses chunk of rubber to soak up shocks and vibrations. It's low maintenance and doesn't need constant tweaking for different riders' weights. Super light, super simple, super easy. But there is a catch. Rubber doesn't love extreme temperatures. Too hot or too cold, and its shock absorbing game changes. This type typically lasts 3 to 5 years and is great for commuter scooters and budget-friendly off-road ones. Now, spring suspension. I use coil springs to handle the bumps. Simple structure, low cost, easy to maintain, and not much can go wrong. The downside, it doesn't have any damping, so its shock absorption is just okay, and it's a little bit on the heavy side. Next up, the Cadillac of suspensions. Hydraulic suspension. This one ups the game by adding oil for damping. The springs take the shocks and the hydraulic oil smooth things out, giving you a much comfier ride. It's got great support and you can tweak the rebound speed. And now for the off-roader's favorite, swing arm suspension. This one is usually paired with a spring and hydraulic suspensions. The swing arm connects the frame to the wheels, letting the wheels move up and down to keep the ride smooth and balanced. This setup is super stable and comfy. Since it uses dual structure, it's pricier but totally worth it, lasting around 5 years. When it comes to pricing for scooters from the same brand, here's the scoop. Spring suspension is the cheapest, rubber and hydraulic suspensions are in the middle, and swing arm suspension is the priciest. Alright, that's a wrap for today. I hope you enjoyed the video and have learned a thing or two about this suspension. Remember, great suspension should be paired with high quality tires for the smoothest ride. But don't fall for any brand that claims the tires alone can give you the best ride. It's all about the combination. You get what you pay for, so pick up the one that suits you best. Thanks for watching. I'm Sammy. See you in the next one. Bye bye.